I've talked in the past about my initial experience with the PlayStation back in the early summer of 1995. Just as a refresher, I went to a local video game store called Fantasy Realms, which is located in Springfield, Mass., where we got to try the PlayStation early. The owner actually got an import PlayStation, and with it, he actually had this game right here, although not the greatest hits copy, but this is Ridge Racer for the PlayStation. And the owner said, hey, try it out. So I did, and I fell in love with it instantly. The game is very colorful, very fast, definitely had that arcade feel. And one of the cool features that this game had along with the PlayStation was you could take the Ridge Racer disc out of the PlayStation and put a CD, a music CD in, and use the first few tracks of that to listen to. The owner popped in the Offspring's Ixnay on the Hombre, and I fell in love with that CD too, but that's a story for another time. So that's how I fell in love with Ridge Racer, was by playing the PlayStation initially. And because I love the initial game, or the first game, the sequels just made sense to get. A year later, we got Ridge Racer Revolution, which was kind of an expansion. I believe, if I remember right, that there is a little bit of Rave Racer in here, as well as a combination of a Ridge Racer sensibilities. There's some different music. This is pretty cool. It's not as captivating as the original Ridge Racer. It feels like an extension of the first, rather than something new, but still really cool to play. Then in 1997... we got this guy right here. This is Rage Racer for the PlayStation. Rage Racer changed things around. The colors from the first two games are dimmed a little bit. It's a little grayer, a little bit darker. The music goes from that really driving house music to more varied kinds of music. Plus, with this, you could now upgrade your cars for the first time based on where you were finishing in races. You could buy new cars. You could upgrade the cars you had. You could unlock different tracks. This was really cool, and one of my favorite games of the series of all time. We had to wait another couple of years, though, after Rage Racer before we got another Ridge Racer game, and a lot of PlayStation owners will tell you that this is their favorite. I am talking, of course, about Ridge Racer Type 4, which came out in 1999. This game implemented a story mode, had over 300 cars to unlock in the garage, had some really cool shading and lighting effects, very fast. The track layouts were just completely different. It's a really cool game and one of the better games in the series. Not personally my favorite. Rage Racer kind of gets that draw, but this is still a great game. In fact, the soundtrack to this game is one of the things that I asked for and got for Christmas of 1999. So, Ridge Racer and I have a long history. During 2000, when the PlayStation 2 came out, I was not on board. At the time, I was a Dreamcast guy. I had my Dreamcast, I had my original PlayStation still, and I had a Nintendo 64. And to me, that was enough. However, in January of 2001, that all changed when I got word that Sega was pulling the plug on the Dreamcast. I've done a video about this before, but just to repeat, or for those who didn't catch it, once news of that broke, I took my Dreamcast and all my games and I traded it in towards a brand new PlayStation 2. Now, in late January of 2001, PlayStation 2 units were still really, really hard to come by. So I got lucky when I went into Fantasy Realms that day and there happened to be one left, so I picked it up. And I picked up a few games as well. Some of the games that I'll be covering this week, in fact. So I don't want to give too many away. But one of the ones that I really wanted and one of the ones that I got is this guy right here. This is Ridge Racer 5, which was released in 2000. It was a launch game. And this is a new sealed copy. And I have been dying to open this because the copy of Ridge Racer 5 that I have now, which is a pre-owned copy, has some scratches on the disc. And my systems don't tend to like it too much. Sometimes the music skips. So I knew that I wanted to get a new copy of it so I could experience the game just like I did when I got it back in early 2001. Ridge Racer 5, of course, took the game, or took the series to 60 frames per second consistently for the first time. Different kinds of lighting effects. The game was just really, really cool. It dropped the story mode from Ridge Racer Type 4, but I was okay with that. It was more of a Grand Prix type feel, and that's really where we've been with Ridge Racer games since, or at least until Ridge Racer kind of went away after Ridge Racer 3D for the 3DS. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to open this up. This is a game that I'm happy to report does have the security tag on it. So this has not been opened. This could be anywhere from, I want to look at it here. Yeah, this is going to be from 2000 here. So I'm really excited for this. The seal is going to be easy to come off, which is good. And I'm going to open it on camera. There we go, taking the plastic off. Popping that in there. And it looks like this might have been from a Namco store, or maybe the PlayStation, the official Sony store, because the UPC symbol has a punch through it. But let's go ahead and we'll try and peel back the security seal. These are one of the things I like to hold on to, and we'll see what's on the inside to share that with you. So when we open this up, oh man, this is so cool. Just memory's sake. When we open this up, we do get the Ridge Racer 5 CD. It is a blue-backed CD-ROM. It's not a DVD-ROM. And you also get the Ridge Racer 5 manual, which has Reiko Nagase on the inside. We're going to go ahead and we're going to close this just real quick so we can take a look at the manual like we always do. When we open the manual, oh, man, it is in color. I'll see if I can get... I mean, there's Rico right there. And you get full color screens as well. You can use the Joy-Con controller, which I need to track down mine. I have it around here somewhere. But you have the Joy-Con controller you can use. You can use the DualShock 2 controller, or DualShock 2 controller, which I prefer. I like to use the D-pad rather than any kind of analog because it's an arcade racing game. But the entire manual is all in color. You get different screens to look at. There is a registration card. You know how I feel about these. There it is right there. First class posters required, of course. First name, last name, address, all that stuff. The questions that it wants are only 4, really. How did you find out about this game? I found out about it through video game magazines. That's one of the options. Friend or relative at a store, television, rented, sample disc, magazine reviewer article, or a magazine advertisement. Why did you buy this title? Gift for child? Nope. Yourself? Yes. Gift for adult? Well, that could also work. And received it as a gift, which was not the case. What other types of video game hardware or computers do you own or plan to own? Remember, this is 2000 now. Nintendo 64, Sega Dreamcast, PlayStation Game Console, Game Boy or Game Boy Color, PlayStation 2, PC or Mac, or other. I should write M2. And also rank the type of games you prefer from 1 to 6, with 1 being the best and 6 the least. So think about how you'd rank these. Go ahead and fill it out in the comments if you want. I'd be interested to hear where you come from on this. So you have action, adventure, sports, fighting, RPG, simulation, and puzzle. So for me, it would probably be sports 1, action adventure 2, RPG 3, fighting 4, puzzle 5, and simulation 6. That would be mine. I'd love to hear what yours would be. And that would be it. You could go ahead, you could send it in, and that's the end of the story. And again, here's another shot of Reiko there. Man, I love this. I love this game. I love this series. I'm very sad that the series is kind of on the back burner, and I'm hoping that Namco will change its mind at some point and bring it back, and hopefully not in a free-to-play fashion like we saw with the PlayStation 3 late in its lifetime. So we'll go ahead and we'll close that up. And as a special bonus, I want to show you one other thing that I have that I'm going to open. As you can see, I'm sporting my PlayStation 2 shirt. This week, I'm going to be going over some of the games that I bought with my PlayStation 2 when I first got it. And this is a PlayStation 2 t-shirt that's been wrapped up. As you can see, I'm wearing my PlayStation 2 Slim launch t-shirt, which is a promo shirt. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to open this up. And I'm glad that I'm doing this because this needs to be washed in order for me to wear it. It is black, so it's not going to be great to wear during the summer. There we go. So we got this, got the plastic off of it. It's just like the front of the system. And when we open it up, These freeze-dried shirts or these vacuum-packed shirts or something else. Oh, this is cool. So that's what the shirt looks like. I'm going to have to wash it. And on the back of the shirt, you do get the PlayStation logo as well. So that's really, really cool. I am looking forward to getting that washed and wearing it for an episode of Unsealed in the future, as I do have plenty of PlayStation 2 games to get to. So that is this episode of Unsealed. Again, this week's theme is going to be PlayStation 2 games that I bought at launch. I do have several games lined up that I will be opening for you as the days go by. I do appreciate any comments that you leave. It's really cool that you take the time to check these out. It's really fun to share these experiences with you, share my memories with you, and to go ahead and open these up and relive opening them for the first time, which is really cool. Thank you very much for watching this episode of Unsealed. Until the next time, my friends, see you.